When I was a boy, I was told that Britain was the envy of the world because we had the welfare state and we had the NHS. But now all we hear about is the NHS being in crisis. How has this crisis arisen? Well, simply put, it's because the government, since they came to power in 2010, have cut £15 billion from the budget. And they have plans to cut another £22 billion from the budget. And the mechanism they're going to use for this are called sustainability and transformation plans. This is often offered up as a way of reforming the NHS to make it fit better with the times, and we're asked to feed in ideas to the consultation process. But actually this is about cutting money. In the budget in March, the Chancellor of the Exchequer, Philip Hammond, promised £325 million to implement these STPs, as they're known. But the BMA, the doctors' organisation, estimate that it's going to cost £9.5 billion to make this happen. So this is the difference between £325 million and £9,500 million. Where's that extra money supposed to come from? The only possible source for this is private money, privatisation. What's wrong with that, you might say? Well, privatisation means that we lose the accountability of the NHS when it's run by politicians. We can choose to vote for them or not. But if Richard Branson takes over the creation of hospitals, we don't get a choice as to whether to vote for Richard Branson or not. The other thing is, it costs money. Private companies must work to provide profit for their shareholders. We've seen an example of this in action before. Previously, we saw what were known as PFIs, private finance initiatives, being used to build hospitals and also schools in Britain. And it looked great because we appeared suddenly to get this hospital for no money. It was built with private money. But they were leased then back to the NHS, which then has to pay for them over generations. Now, out of this, we got £55 billion worth of assets, but we owe £300 billion to pay for them. That's £250 billion going into the pockets of shareholders. So instead of privatisation and cuts, what would Labour do about it? Well, quite simply, over the course of a 5-year Parliament, put £30 billion extra into the NHS budget and £2 billion extra into the social care fund, which will free up hospital beds, means people can be cared for in their homes. And then we can all be proud of the NHS again.